Yo, what's going on, guys? Cody here, and welcome back to another Paragon video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a tier list per role. This is going to be for ranked. I kind of held off on doing this video, just waiting for the patch notes to come out and see if there's any big drastic change. But there hasn't really been too much of a change other than maybe like items, so it's not really going to affect most of the heroes. This video is more intended for newer players who are getting into ranked, or even just new in general, to try to help them like ease into rank and use a hero that is more friendlier. So first, let's get into the video. We're gonna do the top 3 per role. First, let's get into solo lane. So with solo lane, the idea for solo lane is you want to be tanky, right? You want to be a big meat shield. You want to get to the back line. You want to cause havoc. You want to try to absorb as much damage as you can. Tank the objectives, tank the inhibs, tank the towers, things like that. So for my frontliners for ranked, and we're not gonna do it in any particular order. I'm just gonna pick my top 3 per role. So we're gonna do Sev. Now this hasn't changed really. Like these 3 are still really good in the solo lane. There's other solo lanes you can go, yes, but these guys do a really good job at just providing CC, being a big target, and just getting to the back line pretty easily and escaping if they need to. Sev has a root, a dash, a knockback to get someone out of position. Rampage has a leap to go in. He can rock somebody to stun them out of their abilities. He could just provide AoE damage consistently. Steal is really good. He has multiple CCs. He has a good dive. He has a good engage. He has a shield that blocks a lot of projectiles and abilities. These 3 are just really good at doing their role and just getting to the back line. They're not going to give you most of the damage. They're not going to be the top damages on the team, but they're going to be able to absorb a lot of damage. So for new players, these are going to be my top 3 solo laners for you guys. Jungle is going to be kind of the same concept as a solo laner. You want to be more beefier. You want to be tankier to get to the back line and cause havoc. Same thing as solo laner. But with a jungler, your goal is to do a little bit more damage. You can be a little bit more hybrid for the most part. And then you want to be able to clear your jungle, clear your camps, and be on top of like big objectives. So for junglers, my 3 junglers are going to be Crunch. Crunch came out and he was good. Then they gave him a buff that like sent him over the top. He's like top tier jungler, top tier just tanky frontline hybrid. He's really good. Feng Mao, I like Feng Mao. I don't see a lot of Feng Mao being played. Feng Mao has good CC control. He has an AoE slow. He has a teleport that gives him in and out of a bad spot. And the other good thing about Feng Mao is the execution. So a lot of the hunters are going to be building into Fanatic's Desert, so they're going to get that shield when they're below a certain threshold. With Feng Mao, if they're below that threshold, to get that Desert proc, they're also getting the execution proc for Feng Mao, and he can ult them through the shield, so you don't have to worry about shields with Feng Mao, which makes him really awesome. And if you get a kill, you can proc it multiple times. But Feng Mao is really good, really safe. The other person I was kind of thinking about who I wanted to add, it was going to be either Grux or Sereth. Sereth had a lot of huge buffs over the period. Grux does great damage. Sereth is really safe. Sereth can be really safe. She could also put out great damage. Grux has more of a CC, so he can provide like they can provide pulls, they can provide stun, they can provide anti-heal pretty easily. Sereth is kind of just like raw damage, but she's safe. So these 2, one of you guys, you can definitely play if you're more comfortable with like Sereth over Grux or whatever. You can play that hero. For this list, I'm just gonna put Grux. Grux he has a dash, he has a pull, he has an AoE stun, and then he has anti-heal on his kit, and then he does a lot of damage without having to build tanky. You can just build like 1 damage item. For the most part, all these heroes you could just build on the junglers. You could build just like 1 damage item and the rest will be tanky. That's kind of how the meta is. You don't want to be like too squishy and get blown up by the enemy backliner. These are the 3 that I would recommend. Another top pick is Rampage. Rampage is really great in the jungle. He has really great clear compared to Steel and Sevarog, and he also does a lot of damage compared to like Steel. So you could definitely put Rampage in the jungle as well. I'm gonna leave him at solo lane, but he could definitely be played in the jungle pretty easily. All right, so next up is gonna be casters. So for my caster picks, they're gonna be more geared towards survivability. A lot of the casters are immobile. So if you're new to jungle, or if you're new to mid, if you're new to the game, if you're new to rank, you don't want to be that one person who's going like 0-12 and feeding because you're on an immobile caster and the enemy team is capitalizing on you not having any escape. So for me, my mid laners are going to be Gideon, safest hero in the game, or safest caster I'll say in the game. Howitzer. Howitzer is probably next second safe. He has a knockback that can knock himself forward, knock the enemy person back, so provide a little space. If you get in trouble, you can go in the air and ult like where you want to land, and that way you can jump. You get a little leap after your ult, so you can kind of reposition a little bit better. And then my next person is gonna be Faye. There's a lot of other casters that are really good. I know people might think like, well, dude, where's Decker caster? I have a lot of videos of Decker caster. She's really good. If you can play her, definitely play her. She's definitely really safe as well. But just sticking strictly to casters, I'm gonna go with Faye. She definitely got nerfed in the damage part, but she's still a little bit more safe than the other casters. She has an ult that can peel for herself. She has a AoE slow that actually got bigger. They buffed her AoE slow, just like the radius. And then she has the movement speed, so she has all those little abilities to kind of keep her in a more safer spot than other casters. So those give you my top 3 for new players for playing the caster role. All right, for supports, there's not a whole lot of supports in the game. They just added a new hero, Mako. I've yet to play him. I haven't seen a lot of videos on him, but from what I saw from the dev, he seems to be pretty solid. He seems pretty solid. He has a long range ability. He has a long range heal. He has a knockback. He has an escape. So he definitely fits the survivability of the tier list that I'm kind of going with here. So if you have Mako, that's another thing too. Mako, I think he's like 7,000 gold or 7,000 Renar. So if you're playing ranked, you might not have him. But if you have Mako, I put Mako in here. The other people are going to be Muriel, still one of the top supports in the game by far. Decker, really, really good. Can be played in literally 3 roles. Super good. The other one, it's kind of tough because Narbash isn't really that great. Again, if you have Mako, I'd put Mako here if you have him. Narbash is kind of the really only other support, unfortunately. People will tend to play Steel and Rampage over Narbash, but sticking just to true supports, unfortunately Narbash is the only other one. He's not terrible. The laning phase is really good for him. He has a lot of heals. He has a long range stun. His ult's kind of mediocre. His escape he doesn't really have a good escape. When it comes to late game, people are going to prioritize anti-heal, so he's kind of meh in that regards. But if you don't have Mako, then Narbash is kind of unfortunately the only person, unless you want to go like Steel or Rampage. Last ups are going to be the Rangers. So for Rangers, with that whole reload mechanic and the use of his abilities, especially the ultimate, I'm not going to recommend Rep. His ult, it's good, but if you're new to gaming and new to ranking, you don't want to be that person who ults somebody and they end up getting escape or they end up killing you, and they were able to get out when your team could have helped you, secure the kill there. So I'm not gonna put Rev. He's not really that friendly, that noob friendly. Person that is gonna be Twin Blast. Twin Blast actually got some pretty good buffs, and he's not bad. He's really good at it now. He's the only hero that has a dash, that has an escape. His ult's better. His clear is really good. He has the best attack speed out of all the carries, like base attack speed. Yeah, Twin Blast is really solid. He's definitely one I'm gonna recommend. Murdoch's still just nothing's changed about him. He has his Q ability does a great damage in lane. He has a knockback if you get in trouble, if someone jumps on you. If multiple people jump on you, you do your knockback correctly, you can knock them away, and then you might be able to get an escape there. He has a long range snipe that could help get somebody from across the map to help you either getting an assist or getting a kill. Murdoch just solid tier Ranger. And the next person is going to be Sparrow. Sparrow's really, really good. She is the only one that has a steroid. She has a great steroid, gives movement speed, attack speed. Her ult is probably the really only team fight ult that she has, like out of the Rangers. All the other Rangers, I'm not really ulting mid team fight. At the end of a team fight, or towards like the tail end of a team fight where people are running away, then I'm using the ultimate for other Rangers. But if it's for Sparrow, as soon as the fight starts, you're ulting and you're popping your steroid and you're just shredding through everybody who's in front of you. Sparrow's really good. So Sparrow's going to be the number 3rd on my tier list. And again, these are in no particular order for these heroes. But yeah, guys, that is it for my top 3 hero tier list per role for ranked. If you guys are in the rank queues, if you're not picking these heroes and you're playing with me, you're trolling me unless you're good on whatever hero you do pick. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this tier list. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll definitely be grinding ranked with the rank reset. I'll be on there pretty much almost every day playing ranked. So if you guys see me, say what's up. Tell me that you subbed to my YouTube channel. And if you're in my games, don't feed. Okay. If you're new and you're not picking these heroes and you're feeding, you're trolling. All right. But yo, everyone take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.